Well, let's go to Tanya Plibersek, the former Deputy Leader of the Labor Party, and Amanda Stoker, the talented Liberal Senator from Queensland. Ladies, good evening to you. Look, I have to confess that on this job seeker, job keeper unemployment story, I tend to be on a unity ticket with Tanya Plibersek. Today is October 1. From today, the job keeper subsidy, which will continue until March next year, falls from $1,500 to $1,200 a fortnight. People working fewer than 20 hours will get $750 a fortnight. Let's take these bit by bit and see if we can get some tight answers. Tanya Plibersek, will business stay in business and keep employing people on JobKeeper now that it's $1,200 a fortnight?
Look, I think a lot of businesses are already struggling and this will tip some of them over the edge. I was talking to travel agents in my electorate earlier this week, Alan, and they obviously are one of the hardest hit industries. I think these sorts of decreases in JobKeeper subsidies will probably push some of them over the edge.
Yes, and from next year it goes to $1,000 a fortnight, and we're only guessing, can business stay in business? Amanda Stoker, just on business, Australia's top 20 lenders have approved a combined $266 billion of repayment deferrals, 10% of all the loans. Now, I understand the banks have extended the 6-month loan deferral by another 4 months, but this is called kicking the can down the road. When the $266 billion, Amanda, has to be repaid, businesses will also have to resume meeting their monthly commitment. Can you tell me how business does that?
Well, banks are working flexibly with businesses to find the right time for them to start making repayments. Businesses have received record support from the government to get through this hard time, from the cash flow boost to the instant asset write-off, through JobKeeper subsidies and through record support for particular industries, for instance, the childcare sector. And we've done an awful lot on the demand side to try and stimulate more demand for all businesses, but particularly small businesses. Some examples I can give you are the Home Builder Scheme, which has been very popular. Also the advertising campaigns that have been supported for the fishing industry and the tourism industry, and public-private infrastructure partnerships that are all about getting that money flowing and keeping business cash registers ringing.
Right, well, look,
Alan,
I don't know.
can I just add a little something here? Because this is all about the announcement, once again. The Small Business Loans Guarantee, the government announced $40 billion and they got $1.8 billion out the door. The Home Builder announcement, the last time we asked the Minister, there was not $1 of that spent. The government's also announced support for the arts. As far as I know, not $1 of that has actually been distributed to organisations. So it's all big headlines one day and a lot of nasty detail the next. The help is not there on the ground, and business owners will tell you that.
Yeah, that's the correspondence I'm getting. Just while you're with me, Job Seeker from today, this is the unemployment thing, goes from $1,100 to $800 a fortnight. There is a coronavirus supplement of $250 a fortnight, so that's about $500 a week. There are more than 5 million Australians receiving JobKeeper and Job Seeker. Tanya Plibersek, how many of them will be in jobs now that the payments have fallen?
Well, we know that there's 13 people for every job out there. There's 13 applicants for every job, Alan. So there are so many Australians who will either be struggling on reduced JobKeeper or snapping back to those lower job seeker payments. $40 enough was never enough. $40 a day was never enough for people to live on. We certainly can't go back to those poverty wages because people can't even look for work. They can't afford the train fare to get to the job interview when you've got such low benefits. I'll
come to the job issue in just a moment. Just for the benefit of our viewers, Job Seeker was 1.45 million people in July. JobKeeper, the other way around, JobKeeper was 1.45, Job Seeker was 3.5 million, and the Treasurer did say in July that real unemployment is almost double the official figure. But can I just take this point up that Tanya made about 13 people for every job? Now, given this grim picture on unemployment and people screaming out, where are the jobs, the Joint Standing Committee on Migration, I've made this point many times, made a recommendation in early September that university students and recent graduates should be given HECS debt discounts to encourage them to pick crops in regional Australia and plug this labour shortage. Amanda, trees are being ripped out in your state because the produce can't be picked. $6 billion of horticulture is at risk. Your government seems to be saying, well, they can stay on job seeker, that's the unemployment benefit, while undertaking low-paid agriculture and horticultural work. I haven't heard a person in government pushing this issue. Is it happening? There are jobs out there available, and Tanya's saying, oh, well, there's 13 applicants for every job. Who's taking these jobs?
Well, at the moment, the industry, who I meet with regularly, particularly in the Wide Bay and in the central Queensland regions, they tell me they've got plenty of jobs, but they can't get Australians to do them.
Well, why?
And, well, there's every disincentive that can possibly be removed at a federal level has been removed. We've got a tapering off in JobKeeper and JobSeeker to make sure that there are incentives for people to get to work.
Well, there's got to be something wrong with this. You're quite right. Sorry to interrupt you,
There's more, though. We've done more. We've done more, Alan.
I know, but I mean,
we've
the
taken
horticulture
away
industry today, no, I'm not disagreeing with you. I just don't understand this. We're forking money out to people. There are jobs there. The horticulture industry, Tanya Plibersek said today, they've got a shortage of 30,000 workers. There's something wrong here, isn't there? What's going on?
Well, I think, Alan, we spend billions of dollars on job network providers with the aim of connecting Australians to jobs that are available. You would be old enough to remember the old Commonwealth Employment Service. You need a good information flow to job seekers about where the jobs are. I don't think we're doing that well enough. We need to make sure that the pay and conditions for those jobs is sufficient. We've heard terrible stories about...
But they are able to keep job seeker.
Looked after. That's good. I'm not arguing with that at all. I want to see these young people in particular take up these opportunities, and especially those ones who won't be having a gap year. It's a great way to see more of Australia. I'm simply saying that the information flow has to be better about where the jobs are, and we need to make sure... We have heard stories about backpackers and Pacific Island workers being exploited. We need to wipe that out of the system so that people can go with confidence.
But see, Amanda, there's...
But Alan,
want to see Amanda,
there are two issues here, Amanda,
Tanya's
aren't there?
platitudes on this.
Hang on. There are two issues here, aren't there? The jobs are available, but then people can't get to them. Border closures, surely, are an enormous issue in all of this.
Border closures are an enormous problem. I won't wear what Tanya's had to say about the connection between where the jobs are and the job seekers not being there. The jobs portal has had record popularity. The seasonal harvest worker program online connects people from across the country directly with the seasonal picking jobs that are available right now. But you're right, the borders remain a continuing problem. And until those open, the Sydney-sider who's out of work isn't able to easily come to, say, Queensland and pick citrus or go to the Sunshine Coast and pick strawberries or Victoria and go and pick blueberries.
To both of you, can I say this? A farmer said to me today, Australians haven't shown themselves to be interested in harvest work in general. I think the economic situation will need, this is a farmer, to be quite dire before unemployed people in the cities have the impetus to look for work in the regions and relocate as needed. Government's got to step in here somewhere. Just a quick one from both of you. Tanya, what does government have to do to match those people who are unemployed with the work that needs to be done?
Well, they need to make sure that the jobs are advertised in a way that people can find them easily. But, Alan, it's also, if you're talking about 18 and 19-year-olds, their parents will want to know that they're safe, that they've got good accommodation, safe accommodation. I don't mean luxurious accommodation. I mean somewhere to stay that is safe and a decent rate of pay, and food at the end of the day and a glass of water every few hours in the hot sun. These sorts of working conditions, of course, most places are fantastic and
Amanda,
but we've had some pretty bad stories along the way too.
Well, Amanda, just finish with you. How do we match this army of unemployed people with the army of jobs that's available to assist our produce getting to export or onto our dining room table?
Look, part of it requires a culture shift. We need to be willing to go where the work is. But the other part is this. We need to open our minds to the adventure that this can be. There is an awful lot of incentive simply in the fact that you can go to beautiful regional Queensland, see our gorgeous country, have accommodation often provided for you, earn a good income, make new friends, as the PM said, maybe even fall in love. This can be the new gap year in circumstances where people won't go overseas for a while. I
know. But, Amanda, I'm a Queenslander. If I wanted a job, I can't get there. This is the point. I can't get to the place. So there we are. All right, well done. Well done to both of you, and we'll talk again next week. Tanya Plibersek and Amanda Stoker.